Solstice of Heroes is back today, and I wanted to give you guys my first initial impressions on all of the armor sets that are available to us this year. And then later on in the week, I'm going to be doing another video on what I'm going to be doing with the armor sets to kind of give you guys some ideas. I'm going to be using my Titan with the potential of also doing one video for the Warlock and the Hunters, we'll see. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that way you can keep up with the latest in Destiny 2 fashion, and go ahead and hit that like button to show me that you like videos like this. If you want to go ahead and show off your own fashion, don't forget that I do have a Discord server where you can go ahead and post pictures of your current fashion, or if you want to ask for fashion help. Let's also not forget that we do have a channel sponsor now. We have Extra Wallets showing off their amazing lineup of wallets. And if you are looking for a new wallet, I would strongly recommend these, especially if you are the type to lose your wallet. And that's because they come with this cool little solar power tracker. In case you end up losing your wallet, you can just check where it last was, and that way you can go back and reclaim all of your items. You definitely don't want to be that person that has to get all new cards and that's lost a whole $50 bill. So if you want to help support the channel, go ahead and click on that first link down below to grab yourself an amazing new wallet. And now onto the video. So what I can tell you immediately right off the bat is the fact that I like this year's Solstice set a lot better than last year's. I know a lot of people were talking about how like the design is kind of similar to last year's set, but honestly I like this one so much better just because of how slimmed down it is compared to last year's. Last year's set had big old shoulders, the helmet was a lot more like pointy, the legs were a lot more kind of basic looking, and I really didn't like the mark too much. But this year on the other hand, I think I like all of these armor pieces individually, and I also like them without the glow. Last year's armor set, you can get away with the glow. This year's, it's just too much, and you have to always remember less is more. So we're going to start off with the helmet, looking at the individual armor pieces. The helmet is pretty nice. If you don't have last year's, then you're absolutely going to love this year's armor set. I like the design on the front a lot, especially without the glow. That way there's no like bright lights distracting you. I like the overall shape of it. It's very round up here, which is always a plus for me. The little, I don't know what that's called up here. I'm pretty sure last year someone told me what this stuff is called. But it's not too crazy, it's very understated, and I'm into it. It also has this like, I don't know what it is, it's like a purple gem that's kind of coming across here. I don't know what kind of material that is, but you're going to see on the other helmets for the other classes that they also have this like weird purple accent piece. Don't worry though, it is shaderable, so you're not going to have to worry about any of that. Moving on to the arms, I'm not too impressed by them. They're kind of just arms. I know they have some like cool designs here and there, but I don't really see myself using these. But the only thing I do really like about these is that they kind of round out the shoulders coming up here, and there's not just like giant shoulder pieces coming out of nowhere or things kind of popping up through here. So they're going to be very easy to use with other armor sets. The legs are pretty standard. I know we have other legs that have similar shapes, but I can already tell that these legs are going to fit in nicely with other armor pieces, and they're going to be just easy to work with, and they're going to do whatever you want them to do. Especially if you're creating a night look, these are going to be perfect for that. And we're going to close things off for the Titan with the mark. The mark is what I'm mostly impressed with, just because of how beautiful it is. It has everything that I like in a mark. It has this like shape where it like kind of comes down to a point, which if you've heard me talk about the Crown of Sorrows raid set, I really like that, how they just come down to a little pointy end here. It really gives your armor a more like, how do I say this? It makes your armor look like it's in movement versus just kind of bland and kind of standing still. The only thing I can probably do without is this little butt flap going on back here. And in the later video, whenever I try to build something with this armor set, I think I'm going to end up using this mark just because I do like it a lot. Especially whenever you start throwing on shaders onto it to match the rest of your armor. Like, look at that. You don't need to use the glows on these sets. In fact, I would probably kind of tell you to not use the glow on any of them, except for the Warlock. The Warlock does have a couple of armor pieces that the glow does look good on, but we'll talk about them when we get there. As far as the Titan goes, your sets are going to look way better without the glow, especially that chest plate here. Let me actually show you what the chest plate looks like with a shader on it. Just look at that. It fits in perfectly. I don't really recommend using the black and red theme with it. I'm just doing it so that way it can look like it's matching the rest of my set. I really actually like this collar. It makes it look so fancy. This is definitely my favorite chest plate of all of the Solstice sets for sure. Another quick teaser of what the helmet can look like with some shaders applied to it. As you can see, it still looks freaking fantastic without the glow. And like I keep saying, just rock these armor pieces without the glow because it looks amazing. Here are the legs with the shader applied to it with no glow. Again, these kind of shade in a very cool way, so I would definitely recommend playing around with different shaders. And lastly, here are the arms with a couple of shaders applied to them. I'll throw on the Midnight Smith, that way we can compare. Honestly, now that I'm seeing these without the glow, I like them a lot more. Okay, so for the Hunter set, I immediately just gravitate towards the overall shape of the whole entire armor set. It's not good. It looks really freaking odd. Like, I don't know what's causing it. It doesn't look like the right human proportions for some reason. And I think that is because of the chest plate. I think what's causing it is this little, like, whatever flaps are coming down here from the front of the chest plate. It's making it look very odd because you can still kind of tell that everything is kind of okay with the shape on the inner part of the armor set. But whenever you're looking at it from the front, this just kind of throws it off, and that's what's making it look like absolute dog water. Now the arms, on the other hand, I'm liking the arms. They still look a lot like last year's set, so there's nothing too special about them. If you have last year's set, you won't really be missing out if you don't get these. The glow is also very tasteful on this one. It's not too crazy on the right side of the Hunter. On the left side though, we can probably do without... No, actually no. I'm gonna take that back. I was gonna say we can do without this little shoulder piece, but I'm a big fan of the way that the asymmetry works on Hunter arms, so I'm liking this a lot actually. The rest of the arms, like I said, are kind of basic, nothing really to write home about. They're just a set of knight arms. As for the cloak I have very conflicting emotions. Now this one looks very similar to last year's yet again. They don't have like a design going on right here in this area. I think last year they had like a cool little thing going on here, or maybe I'm thinking about the Guardian games. I don't know. The back of the cloak, I'm not liking it too much. The part that I do like a lot is actually the hood right here. I like this shape. Like, as you guys know by now, the blue Solstice cloak, like the one that you get from Ava Levante at the beginning of the Solstice event, I love that cloak. It's one of the top tier cloaks. Actually, if you don't have that cloak yet, and you don't really want to play Solstice of Heroes, I would recommend just kind of grinding out just a little bit. Grind out that helmet. That way you can get the rest of the blue armor set, and that way you can get the blue cloaks on the Hunter, because that's actually how you end up getting this look that I have going on right now. Like, the blue cloak is one of the best cloaks in the whole entire game. This is what it looks like without the shader on it. It looks very like assassin-y, you know, like Assassin's Creed. So if you don't have that and you're not planning on playing the event, at least play enough to where you can get the like basic blue gear from the Solstice stuff. That way you can have it and you can look as cool as I do. Now, going back to the Solstice 2021 cloak, I like everything about this hood part. Now, even though I like this little headpiece that's going on up here, and I like it with the glow, I can already tell it's going to be really hard to work with. You're going to need like a wide Hunter, so like the male Hunters will probably look best with this. And you're going to need a pretty big and like kind of loud helmet to help offset how loud this little top piece here is on the hood. Now the helmet is probably the part that I like the most about this set. I like this design. I was talking about it on the Titan as well. This like design right here, it's just absolutely amazing. I don't like how flat the helmet is. If you look at it from the side right here, it's looking a little flat, but as long as you're just looking at it from the front, it is perfect. Even with the glow, this is probably going to be a pretty good helmet. I can already see you guys making like an emo looking Hunter with like all of like the dark colors, like all black, and then just having like a little bit of glow peeking out right here from the hood. And I bet that people are going to make like the whole like faceless Hunter but with a little bit of glow. Like, maybe you guys can try that out. I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is that this helmet is an absolute win, except you don't want to use this helmet with the cloaks that don't have a hood, and I'll show you why. Because it'll look like this. Even though I like this helmet, without a cloak, you just kind of look like a bald old man. I don't know. It just looks really odd. Yes, basically what I'm saying is always rock this with a big old hood. And also, like I was talking about on the Titan, there's like some purple stuff going on right here. Again, it's shaderable, so you don't have to worry about it, but I like this little small purple trim. It's a nice touch. And lastly, we're gonna go over to the legs on the Hunter. I actually really like them. Like you guys know already, I like the whole knight aesthetic. Every single time I see something like that, I am immediately in love with it. Even with the glow on, it still looks pretty good. I would still recommend rocking it without the glow. The only part I don't like about them is this little like crotch flap going on here. It just kind of throws me off. And let's take a quick look and see how these helmets kind of shader without the glow. And as you can see, they look a lot. Whoa, that's a really cool. What shader is that? Raspberry looks really good on that. Looks creepy, doesn't it? But yeah, you're gonna, oh yeah. I'm absolutely going to like this set, even though this set looks pretty freaking gross, like as a whole. Like that chest plate is just not good, and I can see why people would like ignore the arms and the cloak. This helmet, I feel like this helmet just makes the set worth it. Look at that. That's a good helmet. And here is what the arms look like with some shaders applied to them. I'm just kind of picking at random. I'm not choosing any shaders specifically. Arms, I think I might pass on actually. I don't like the way they look with a shader. And of course, this ugly chest plate, hopefully throwing on a shader might make it a little bit better. Not really. It kind of thins it out a little bit with the darker colors. But yeah, it's not going to be a good chest plate. And for the legs, we're just gonna cycle through here. The legs are gonna be really good. Look at that. What is that? What shader is that? What did I pick? Revelry Stoic? That's pretty good. I like the way that these little like accent pieces shade. It's a very nice touch, and the way they did it is absolutely amazing. Look at that. What shade is that? Dawning Tranquility. Dawning Tranquility. Ooh, that might be a good one. Go ahead and try that for you hunters. Honestly, every single class, go ahead and try the shader on there. I can anticipate that it's going to look very good. And that even makes that crotch flap not look that bad either. And lastly, we're just gonna go ahead and try the cloak, but I actually want to go back to the Dawning Tranquility. And I went ahead and I applied the Dawning Tranquility to the cloak too. Ooh, I'm gonna say it right now, Dawning Tranquility might be the best shader to use on all of these Solstice sets. That looks really freaking good. I'm gonna try that with my build that I make next video. Okay, so let's take a look at this Warlock now. I don't know how I feel about it. It's very uneventful. I can already tell that the helmet is going to look a lot better than last year's, especially this thing up here. I actually really like it. And of course, like I was saying with the other classes, I like this like design that's going on in the visor, although I don't know how they're able to see out of this. But yeah, I'm liking the overall shape of the helmet, especially this. I think this glow is actually very good. It's very like pointy and very menacing, but it's also going to look good without the glow, so don't worry about that. And here are those little like purple accent pieces on the helmet that I keep talking about. I don't know what they are. I really wish I did. They look like little purple jewels. But the thing that I mainly wanted to point out with the Warlock, when I was talking about earlier with how the glows actually look really good on the Warlock ones, is this bond. You are going to regret not playing the Solstice event for this bond. This bond is absolutely amazing. I'm even going to play on my Warlock just to get the bond alone. With and without the glow, this bond is god tier. Probably one of the best bonds I've seen in a very long time. Now, the arms on this, they're very boring. Honestly, like without the glow, they're just arms. You can probably replace them with anything else. So yeah, if you're going to try to use these, use it with the glow, otherwise they're very boring. The robes with the glow are also very boring. The robes are kind of weird, so I would like to see these with some shaders on them. We're gonna take a look at that here in a second, but they're almost too clean. And I know you guys are going to probably end up using these a lot, but I don't know, there should be a little bit more design to them. I don't like this thing going down the middle. It's just very boring. And actually right here, down this like area right here around the leg area, that's pretty good right there. but the rest of it just nothing too crazy. But I know I'm going to be proven wrong on these robes because people are going to make something good with it. I just know it. I do have that feeling. And now we're gonna go on to the legs, and I immediately am just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. These legs are thick. Like, look at those thighs. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty good. Anyway, all that aside, so these are very knight-like, and I can actually see people using these a lot. I like that there is some design going around the thigh area. Usually with Warlock legs, it's just like all in the boots, and up here it's basically nothing. So I appreciate there being a design up here, and even the design on the actual legs, like the things that Solstice armor is known for, whatever these are called. That design is done very well right here in the knee area and the boot area. Now let's start taking a look at these armor pieces with some shaders applied to them. Again, they're just going to shade very well, and there's going to be absolutely no complaints from me by how they shade. Oh, that looks really good. And here is Dawning Tranquility again. I am really liking this. I'm being told right now by my friends that this isn't as good as I think it is, but honestly, look, listen. I'm going to use this in my build that's going to be coming next video, and I'll show all of you that this is really freaking good. I like this shader. The arms are going to be nothing special. Yes, they shade very well. And actually, now that I'm seeing them without the glow, I guess they're not too bad, but they're still very boring and uneventful. You can obviously just switch these out for different arms and no one will know the difference. Now the robes are what I'm very curious about. Let's take a look. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, these robes actually shade very well. Ooh, what is this? Crucible something? Carbon Blood. Carbon Blood makes this look really good. Look at that design back here. Yeah, so you're going to want something very dark underneath or very light, and then make these like little designs be very bright, almost metallic. That metallic really makes it pop. I like that a lot. Never mind, I take it back. I take back everything I said about these robes. These robes are going to be really good. Look at that. Dawning Tranquility. Looks amazing. Yep. All right, Warlocks, you definitely have to play Solstice of Heroes now. Boots, again, pretty standard. They're going to shade pretty well. I'm just going to cycle through some shaders right here so that way you can see how freaking good these boots are. And again, I'm liking that design in the thigh and knee area. This might be the same shader that I have on my current armor. Look at that. Even with my current armor set, these look good. I think I finally found the legs that I'm going to use for like everything. Oh my god, my wallet is going to hurt from buying all those transmog materials. And finally, we go to the... Oh, wait a second. I thought this had like a Warlock logo on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, this bond is still really good, but I thought there was a Warlock logo. I think that's only in the ornament version of the set. It's basically just going to take anything that is metallic in the shader and just kind of take that color. Like with something that I'm using right here, I would use maybe like a dark color or maybe like a nice bronze color to really make it pop out. But it's not bad. I like it a lot, even without the glow. Okay, so that's gonna be it for me today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you like Destiny 2 fashion. And if you need any advice on your own fashion, or you just want to show off your amazing fashion, go ahead and click that link down below to join my Discord server. I'm pretty sure we're like really close to hitting like 7,000 members now. Remember to keep an eye out for that next video where I will be using some of the Solstice gear to create something of my own. But in the meantime, go ahead and click on one of the videos showing up in the end card right now. And Guardians, as always, stay beautiful.